Sega. Beauty and harmony, governed by one eternal law. All that begins must end. The reign of the old shogunate is over.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to my Let's Play of Total War Shogun 2. Now, two things have just been released since my last Let's Play. A new DLC, which adds the Otomo clan to the game. If you saw my previous videos, they were a non-playable clan that started out as Christians. Well now, if you have the DLC, it's a playable faction. And also, because of that, there's another update to Darthmod. Darthmod improves the game dramatically, including all of its DLCs if you have any installed. But anyways, we're going to play a fresh new Shimazu Shogun 2 campaign, and all I can say is, third time's a charm. Let's get to it. Now, as you can see, they start on the island. And the green arrows represent the provinces that you have to take over to win the game. Now, the object of the game, well, the main object of the game, for you new viewers out there, is to capture the province of Kyoto and hold it for 4 seasons. In addition, you must hold a certain set of provinces, which is, like I said, is highlighted in green. You must also control a certain number of provinces depending on the length of the campaign. In a short campaign, you have to conquer 25 provinces. In the long campaign, you have to conquer 40. And in the domination campaign, you have to conquer 60. And you have a time limit in which to do it. Game starts in the year 1545, and depending on the campaign, you have a certain amount of time to complete your goals. And each year lasts 4 turns, and each turn represents 1 season in the game. So we're going to play a long campaign. Now, like I said, there's a new clan you can play if you have the DLC. It's the Otomo clan. As you can see, they have new objectives and goals, as you can see. But we're going to play the Shimazu. And also, as you can see, their difficulty is hard, while Shimazu will be easy. And you can see why it's hard, because if you see all my previous videos, they always get ganged up on because they have the odd man out religion, Christianity, while the others are Buddhist. But anyways, we're going to play a Shimazu, we're going to play a long campaign, and I'll tell you about the abilities cut and dry so we can get started. They get reduced recruitment costs and upkeep for Katana Samurai, and can recruit superior Katana Samurai as well. We're going to be using them a lot in the campaign. Also, later in the game, they can recruit superior Katana heroes. And finally, they get increased loyalty for all generals. Now, loyalty is important in this game because if your general's loyalty gets too low, they can turn on you, and then you can't use them in a war. So, with that, we are going to start our campaign. Now, be quiet so you can listen to the intro. Then once the intro stops, then the game begins.
(1545). This is Sengoku Jidai, the age of the country at war. For 200 years, the Ashikaga shoguns have ruled from Kyoto. Great splendor and power were theirs. Now the over-mighty clans no longer obey. The time has come for a new warlord to become shogun. But who will be victorious? Shimazu lands have always provided for our people. Our enemies are many and envious. They threaten our borders and look for any weakness. We trace a line back to the first Shogun Yoritomo. Loyalty runs deep in the Shimazu. It is in our blood, our traditions. And in battle, our swordsmen are the envy of Japan. No blade is swifter or more feared than ours. Bishamonten, the war god, has woken. Now is the time to defeat our enemies. All will bow to the Shimazu clan. We wait no longer. Destiny calls. We are the Shimazu. This is an auspicious time for our clan. Not only have we established ourselves as masters of Satsuma province, but fate has brought us into contact with a trade ship from the far west. Shipwrecked upon the shores of Tanegashima, the Namban brought with them the promise of lucrative trade. More importantly, they brought teppo, firearms, simple to operate, yet deadly in their effect. Establishing trade relations with the Namban should be a priority, for their weapons could be the key to our military superiority in Kyushu. It is also vital that we begin to extend our power beyond the bounds of Satsuma. Osumi should be our first target. We are already at war with the ruling Ito clan, and its castle is dangerously close to our borders. It must be captured before the Ito have a chance to muster an army there. We may then proceed with their total subjugation, or alternatively, expansion into Higo. We are not currently at odds with the Sagara, the masters there. But seizure of their province will mean a source of superior war horses and a taste of total and lasting victory. With southern Kyushu firmly under our control, none of the other clans will be able to resist. Kyushu will be ours. But we must beware of drawing the ire of Kyoto. Should the Shogunate perceive our growing influence as a threat, it will be necessary to defend ourselves against the Shogun and his allies. In that event, we must be prepared to fend off all who would attack us, no matter from where that threat emerges. If the Shogun wishes to halt our expansion, let him come here and reckon with us himself.
Okay, the game has begun and we've received our first mission. Our first mission is simple: to conquer the province of Otomo, which we'll be doing very soon because we are at war with the Ito clan. And if you watched the previous videos of my first two plays, you know that we start war with the Ito clan, so we can take the province of Otomo immediately.
If our daimyo is to become
Also,
shogun,
Otomo is one of the provinces that we need to win the game. As you can see, we must conquer 40 provinces. One of them must be Kyoto, plus 5 others, depending on which clan you play. For the Shimazu clan, you must conquer the provinces of Bungo, Higo, Hyuga, and Otomo. And we have Satsuma, that's our capital. Alright, we're just going to go over one thing real quick and then we'll start. Well, a few things. Well, first, each province may have a specialty. Now, specialties play a big part in any Shogun game, but especially this one, since Kishu Island has a ton of specialties. So we'll be using them to our advantage, definitely. The province that we start on, Satsuma, has the specialty of smithing, which is good for the construction, for the training of melee units. Another thing we're going to look out for is public order. As you can see, public order is 1, but if public order is ever negative, then there will be outright rebellion. And if this rebellion continues, then a rebel army will appear near our land and pillage the land, or even take over a province if they're strong enough. So we don't want that to happen at all. Another thing we will look at is down here. The first number represents the number of koku, or the currency in this game. It's at 3,000, that's how much we start with. And the number in the middle tells us how much koku we're expected to get on our next turn. But we don't receive the koku until everybody's taking their turn, so that number can change. With that, we're going to start. First order of business is to find out what we're going to build at Satsuma. Now, since I've played the Shimazu clan before, I know that we're going to get a quest later on in which we have to build a trading port. And if we succeed in building a trading port, we're going to get 1,000 koku, which is basically a 1,000 koku discount on the trading port. But in order to build a trading port, we must build a harbor first. So, we're going to build the harbor. Also, we're going to upgrade our blacksmith. And sometimes you have choices. In this case, you can upgrade into an armor or weaponsmith. Now, as you can see, the blacksmith increases the melee attack and armor for samurai recruited in the province. But if we upgrade it into the armorer, then all our samurai, as well as the Ashigaru or the lower class units, will receive an armor bonus. Similarly, if we upgrade into a weaponsmith, then the melee attack of all samurai and Ashigaru units recruited in the province will go up. So we're going to upgrade into a weaponsmith for this game. Finally, we're going to recruit some units because we've got to assault the province of Somi. So, I'm going to recruit 2 bow Ashigaru for this turn. Also, I'm going to move my Daimyo to where our army is. And finally, we're going to move this army past the farm so that the Ito clan, the Ito armies can't pillage it without going through us. Last order of business is we got to research the technology. Now, later on, we're going to get a quest in which we have to research Way of the Sword. So, we're going to click on it and research it right now. As you can see, it's going to take 11 turns to research Way of the Sword. Once Way of the Sword is researched, we're going to get a free Katana Samurai unit. In the meantime, Bushido is going to be researched in 2 turns, and then 3 turns after that, Strategy of Attack will be researched. After Strategy of Attack is researched, it's going to take 6 more turns to research Way of the Sword. So let me check everything first and make sure everything's in order, and then we'll end the turn. Okay, I'm satisfied with my orders, so we're going to end the turn right now. Alright, here we go. And as you can see, all the other clans take their turn. Once that happens, it'll be our turn again.
Ideal for whittling down the enemy before battle is joined. These troops are best kept at range and will suffer heavy losses if engaged in melee.
And as you can see, we have our quest to research Way of the Sword. And as I told you, once Way of the Sword is researched, we get a free samurai unit. Well, a free Katana Samurai unit. So let's go on with the second turn. Our army has arrived, so let's move it to where our original army is. Now the harbor is going to be completed on this turn. So on our next turn, we can build a trading port. That'll cost us 800 koku, so I'm going to do nothing and probably just end the turn right where it is. Alright, I'm gonna end the turn right now. Bushido has been researched. That'll increase the morale of our unit. Now, morale is important because it's going to have a huge effect when we finally get into battle. Next is strategy of attack, which will increase the charge bonus of all our units. When the units charge. I'll show you about charging later. Okay, we have 2104, so we're going to build a trading port. And then we're going to recruit our first naval unit and get the trade route started. And I'm gonna start. And it looks like I think I'm gonna start this assault here. They only have 4 units. We have a ton of units to use. As you can see, they retreated to the province of Somi. Alright, I'm done. I'm going to end the turn. Or, wait a minute. We have 8 units. If I go into battle now, I have to go up against their 7. I'm going to start to put the pressure on Sami. If I start a siege over Sami, then they can't recruit any units in that province. So, I'm going to put the pressure on them and start the attack now. Now what might happen, as you've seen in the previous videos, that they might sally forth and attack our army. If that happens, we'll be ready. Now then the turn. And there we go. It looks like an even battle. We have a little bit of an advantage. So, it looks like we're going to attack here. And I'll see you on the battlefield.